So here I am studying, and I totally spaced off that Mark wanted me to clean the back supply room. He says it looks like crap, and he's been hounding me for so long on getting this back room cleaned. So I need to go back there and get it cleaned up before he finds out that it's not clean. Good God almighty! Got stuff in it though. Look what Joshy found.
The unburied dead, the unburied dead are coming back to life, are coming back to life.
My name's Mark Warman.
I'm Darren Kirkpatrick.
And we get paid to bring dead cars back to life. We work with my best friend Royal and my son-in-law Josh. We search far and wide to find how a car was built, where it spent its life, and how it died. After that, we bring it back to look exactly the way it did on the day it was born. If we don't kill each other.
Just shut your mouth before I actually punch you out.
Can I leave a handprint on your face?
So on the FDP 505, it's line 31. I want to make sure that this has the right date code on it, or do they even date code them?
Mark!
Hang on.
Brap. Brap, brap.
Hang on.
You're out. Check it, bro.
What are you doing?
Check it, bro.
What are you
That's a
doing?
break.
Okay, I'm shot.
That's
what are
break.
you doing?
Well, I was cleaning the back room and I found this.
Now?
Yeah?
You're just now cleaning the
Damn,
back
man.
room? Good.
Ow.
You're supposed to clean it a week ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on, man. Dude, I'm just trying to have a little bit of
You
fun.
overgrown me. No, I don't mind having a little bit of fun, but this is a very special thing I have planned. Now, can you keep your big fat alligator running mouth shut? With all the pressures that we've been under recently, I decided I would try to find some way to relieve some of that tension and pressure, and I thought about paintball. So I ordered up a bunch of paintball equipment and basically was planning on letting everybody know very soon that we were gonna have a day to go out and play. Unfortunately, Scrooge ruined that.
Dude, what's it take for you to just let loose a little bit?
That's what these are for. They're here to let loose. They're for letting loose.
All right.
Okay? They're a surprise. You're the guy that effed up Christmas for everybody too, ain't you? Yeah. Oh, look, everybody can't have Christmas because Josh ruined it for everybody.
I ruined it.
You ruined it.
I'm just trying to have some fun, dude.
Now that we have the 71 Charger 446 pack down the road, taillights delivered, it's time to start focusing on some of the other cars that we have at Graveyard Cars. We have the 71 340 quadruple black Phantasm homage car. We have the 69 Charger Daytona in R4 red, factory 440, red with white guts, white interior, and our 70 Dodge Challenger Plum Crazy factory sunroof car. And to top everything off, we have a 1970 Plymouth Superbird in Alpine white scheduled to show up this afternoon. So with the Superbird showing up right on schedule, we got it unloaded and pushed inside the shop. Now we can go focus our attention on the 70 Sunroof Challenger RT. So I'm getting ready to shoot the floor and the engine compartment and the outer aprons on the 70 Sunroof Challenger. A few weeks ago, we did the roof and the inside of the roof and the inside of the wheelhouses. So now we just have to hit the rest of it and then it'll be sealed up. I've got Darren back here doing the tack cloth work on the car. It's kind of brainless, doesn't need a lot of savvy to fit. I said you're doing a great job.
Oh, that's what I thought.
I want this rail and this apron panel and this shock tower reinforcement to be consistently covered with paint, and I want it to be consistently covered with clear. So that means when I try to get this panel and this panel equally done, there's a chance you can run it in the middle because you've overlapped the two panels. You won't see that with my work. Okay. All you're gonna see is it looks like somebody dipped this thing in a big purple candy vat and pulled it back out again, and then poured a bunch of clear candy over the top. Not candy paint, candy the stuff you eat.
So you're saying you've never ran in one before? You've never run?
I've never ran an engine compartment, and the last painter that was here was always in awe of me. He felt that it was almost of biblical proportions. So,
I never heard him say that.
even though I got carpal tunnel in my old age, it still takes an enormous amount. I mean, my hand will get throbbing on the insides of those because it's just a quick shot, just a shot of color, shot of color, shot of color, shot of color, shot of color.
Can you use the left one too or not?
Oh, I'm ambidextrous. Usually what I'll do is I have the paint gun in this hand and I'll just give it a shot and it'll go over to this hand. And I'll just pick right up where I left off.
Nice.
It's time to go to school.
Looking forward to it.
If this was like 1,000 years ago, I'd be a Picasso. I'd be one of those dudes that cuts his damn ear off.
Good afternoon, this is Josh. So I'm up here alone today, watching the front desk. I've got all this time to myself and I'm supposed to be studying, but the other day I walked into the back storage room and came across a whole bunch of paintball gear. Well, I decided to hop onto Spyder's website and look at all their paintball equipment, and it's bringing back so many memories. Paintball is just clouding my mind right now, and I really want to be outside playing paintball.
So ever since Josh started dating my daughter, I realized he had a bit of an immaturity to him. So I kind of took him under my wing and been nurturing him, and he's showing some real signs of progress towards maturity. One of the first lessons I worked with him on was keeping your eyes straight ahead and focused and staying out of other people's business.
Pop shot, pop shot, pop shot. Say the bunker's right there. Just come right up. Just continue to shoot at it, because whenever you continuously shoot at that bunker, that person's gonna be pinned down and they're not gonna wanna get up.
Slowly, he's coming along. I think he is heading towards that level of maturity, which he should have been at a few years ago. I'd like to think I had something to do with that. He's showing signs of definite adulthood.
That's a break, bro, get out!
I think by the obvious fear of me stomping a mud hole in his back and walking it dry has really had a positive effect on him.
All right, I better get this packed up and put away before Mark gets back. Easy does it.
There it is.
Where do you get them funny glasses at?
It will be known as the most beautiful sunroof Challenger on the planet. DBC's 2210 is the FC7 paint. Today is one of my favorite days in the restoration business. I call it color day. It means I get to actually mix up the color of the car and begin spraying it. You work awful hard to get to this point, but it's definitely a sense of real satisfaction when you start laying the color out. It takes a lot of base coat on these cars. Usually 4 gallons of sprayable color will cover a car inside and out, so I ordered 2 gallons of it from PPG. So even though it was just mixed a couple of weeks ago sitting on the shelf, the clear binders, they're lighter than the metal and the pigment that's in the paint, so they surface their way to the top. You can see it's real transparent right there. It looks like Kool-Aid. We'll just start stirring that. The thing that I think is my favorite part about all the Chrysler muscle cars from 69 to 71 were the colors. Whether it was Plum Crazy Purple, Sassy Grass Green, Lemon Twist Yellow, In Violet, whatever the color was, they were just cool. They called them high impact colors, and they were every bit of that, high impact colors. The coolest part of it all is that now, here in 2012, you could go down to your dealership and buy a Sassy Grass Green Dodge Challenger or a Plum Crazy 2012 Dodge Challenger. This is one of the prettiest colors they ever made. It's gorgeous color. That is beautiful. See, and that's what it should look like on the car. It should look wet and it should be covered completely. One of the things that happens is I'll end up going to a car show sometimes and I'll see a purple car that, it's an original purple car and it looks nice, it's a pretty color, but if it's not painted in the PPG, what tends to happen is the hues are off and the shades are off. And so yeah, it is a purple, but it's not the true FC7 purple that the car was painted with in the factory. And here's what's amazing. I can mix that color up, spray it out on a spray out card, hold it up to the inside of a door jamb, for example. This is an original Plum Crazy Purple door jamb. Hold up my spray out card and they're identical. And that to me is just awesome. Plum Crazy is the #1 color in 1970 that the cars were painted. It's a gorgeous color. The only downside, if it had one, is that it's a very transparent color. It's not uncommon to end up with 5, 6, maybe 7 coats of base to actually get true coverage before you can move on to the clear coat stage. Once you actually have the base covered, you have to give it a little bit of time to purge or flash. That gets the solvents out of it. Then it's time to lay the clear over the top. I use the DCU 2002 polyurethane clear by PPG because, in my opinion, it's exactly like pouring maple syrup over the top of a paint job. It's thick, it's rich, it just brings the color to life. You got size 16 shoes.
15.
15.
15.
Thank you, though.
He wears snowshoes.
Do you know that I just watched the History Channel's Woolly Mammoth show the other day, and it was a 12. So you got a bigger foot than a woolly mammoth. Congratulations. And you live in today's environment. Look at that. Look at that hoof.
What's that hair growing out of your nose right here? You got a big hair growing out of your nose.
We watch video. So today I rounded up the guys, and we're gonna watch a tutorial video on installing our new shop crane. I had written one of the guys there, Tim, a few months back, and asked him if he thought he could make us something that we could duplicate like an assembly line process.
My name is Tim Laughlin. I work for a company called Gorbel. Gorbel makes the shop crane. Gorbel is the largest crane manufacturer in North America. So the shop crane is a new line for us. It's about 2 years old, and we have a tremendous amount of expertise in overhead handling. So we had all this technology. We decided to make a crane that was more for the homeowner, the small shop, body shops. It's for people working on engines. It's for people working on cars. So this is a product that it's very affordable for a small shop, but it makes life so much easier. It's a one-hand operation and a one-man operation, and it's safe.
After watching the video, it looks fairly simple. According to them, in a couple of 2-3 hours, 2 guys might be able to put the entire system together. I'm thinking I got 4 or 5 guys with Tim, and we should be able to have it done in half that time.
Rebar. Rebar.
Oh, you hit rebar?
However, I didn't take into consideration to be half the IQ as well.
When I was drilling holes for the bolts to mount the post down with, I hit some rebar.
The concrete bit that we used, the first hole that we drilled, it went through it no problem at all, effortless, because there was no steel rebar in the way. The second hole, we hit rebar at about 3.5 inches.
If I had to blame anybody, I'd blame Mark.
Royal said it's my fault?
Yeah.
That we hit rebar? Yeah. So I built a building in 1974, Royal, and I forgot to give you a map of where the rebar is? And here we are again. My guys screwed it up like they do everything. So no, didn't get to do it in half the time. I am doing work today. Okay, why don't you ask Henry Ford what he was doing on the assembly line, okay? I'm making sure that everything is done right.
I wasn't aware of the challenging people I would be working with today, so it's taking a little bit longer than we anticipated. But it is very quick and easy for it to go up, and it just makes life so much easier.
It appeared to me that Royal and Tim had everything under control. It looked like they were getting a rhythm on. I didn't want to interrupt that. We had a banner that needed to be hung, so I decided I'd get Dumb and Dumber, the remaining Stooges, to give me a hand setting the banner on the wall. Preload this. I want to have some...
Looks like when it bring it down, then it would be at the top.
Life lesson number 386. You're a dummy.
Go ahead, Mark.
You're a human dummy. Do everything yourself, because Darren's an idiot.
Well, it took 3 people
Problem is you're stupid.
an hour to hang it.
It took 3 guys to hang the banner. There was maybe a guy or 2 watching, and 2 people are basically putting up the crane.
Straight.
God, what the is wrong with you, you pig-eared...
Darren, don't bother doing anything.
All right.
Yeah, Darren, are you okay watching? You all right?
I don't know
you
what
got the
you want
watching
me to do.
down?
I'm not a mind reader, Tim.
I think Darren, I think he's funny. He tends to want to just run the vacuum and not do a tremendous amount of work, and just bust people's chops.
That's the difference between me and you.
Yeah.
You're all fast. You run fast.
He's nice and shape. You're big and fat.
Novocaine.
I'm not poking at anybody. You're making fun of anybody. I didn't do anything all day long.
That's all Darren's doing is torturing people. He's not doing any work. That is his whole focus is to upset people.
Martin gets his shirt from the tent maker now.
Once we have the shop crane assembled, I envision that we're going to be able to duplicate the assembly line process. If you look back at the old photos or talk to any of the guys that used to work on the assembly line, basically what happened was they had an overhead trolley system that would support the car, which was a basically done car from the standpoint of body and paint and trim. It would come along on this trolley system, and setting below it on jigs was the front suspension, the rear suspension, which housed the motor and the transmission. It would be simply lowered down over the top of those components, tightened up, and rolled to the next point on the assembly line. That's what we're going to be able to do.
For the most part, everything went really good. I think, now that they've seen it up and they pick up the CUDA and they start moving it around, they see what the shop crane's all about. It's pretty amazing. So they're very pleased with it.
That's great. I could actually put a motor and transmission in one of these cars by myself.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Without scratching a brand new painted up fender well.
And that's a lot of like what we've seen people doing with it. Putting body on chassis.
Yeah.
Pulling motors out, things like that have just been, it's incredible.
It's going to take out a lot of the back-breaking work. It's going to make things a lot easier, a lot faster, a lot better.
At first, it took Tim a while to kind of understand Darren and where Darren was coming from, but oh man, it took probably 15, 20 minutes of being around Darren, and Tim had him figured out and started goofing off and, punching right back at Darren.
Whoa, what's wrong with you? Wait a second.
I know, it's crazy.
That's the first productive thing you have done all day.
All day.
Day.
Seriously, it is.
I don't think so, Tim. He comes on here, he's a big football star. I played football, just college, and I'm big and tough and all this stuff,
Buddy. How are you, man?
Good, how are you? It's nice to see you.
Drop, tuck, and roll. Drop, tuck, and roll.
He struggles with a lot of things.
That wing's worth more than your whole car, Royal. Be careful with it. Once I had all the jam work done on the sunroof Challenger, it was time to hang the sheet metal. That means aligning the doors, fenders, in preparation for the final paint.
Got one on the 50. I used to play semi-professional paintball for about 7 years, and I played with the greatest group of guys that I've ever met in my life. Oh! Not a day goes by to where I don't think about them. They're always in my mind, and if Mark wants to go out there on the paintball field with this big old ego that he has, I'm gonna put 2 right in his face mask.
Check it. Adding the shop crane certainly is a step towards production and quality, but we also are out of room. So I took a little bit of time, started digging around. I was thinking I wanted to add an awning to the back of the building so we could be able to protect the cars, keep things inside, and that's what led me to West Coast Metal.
My name's Alvaro Arellano Jr. I've been working for my dad for 7 years. My dad incorporated West Coast Metal Buildings in 2002. Every year has been going great. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger. I got an email from Mark a couple weeks ago that he was looking for an awning for his building, and that way he'd have a little extra space for his business to expand more.
So it's a real exciting time over here at the graveyard. I started out with nothing, as most people know. I didn't have anything handed to me like Darren and Royal and Josh. So everything that you see as we grow is things that I've earned by doing a quality job and doing what my lips say I'm gonna do.
In Mark's case this time, he wanted something a little bit different than what we usually do. And of course, we want to provide Mark with a nice, beautiful, strong structure.
Not only am I going to have a much nicer shop when it's over, it'll reflect in the quality of the job that we're doing for our customers as well.
We start from little carports, 12 by 21 or smaller, and we can do up to big warehouses, 60 wide, free span, or possibly a little bit bigger, and lengthwise as long as you'd like to be. We're almost finished, and it's looking beautiful, and I just hope we can do business in the near future again.
After 25 years in business, I learned fairly early on that good vendors, good contractors, whoever it is that you're paying to do a job for you, they're a reflection of you. And in the case of the West Coast Metal Buildings, it's obvious that we made the right choice. With all the body panels lined up on the sunroof Challenger, installed, bolted down, and ready, we can now go into final paint. take the high road, you chrome-headed son of a... I want to get the Charger pushed out. Before you start a big project like the Daytona or any of the cars that are relatively together, you want to get them disassembled, the parts laid out and inventoried so that you know what you need to order, you know what you already have, and then you can begin the actual reassembly process in somewhat of a timely fashion. I would like to stack everything in this so we know it's all contained in it. So think about what the sizes are of stuff.
Will any of this stuff fit my car I can use?
Darren always has to make it difficult. It's always about Darren. Darren's selfish that way. What about my car? What can I have off of this? Like a little kid tugging at your shoulder. What can I have? What can I have? You know, he's not a team player. I've got clients that are paying good money to have their cars restored. Why can't we get along a little bit better, Darren?
Because look what you do, Mark.
What did I do?
You strike out at people that wonder why they do something back.
Here we go again. Another perfect example of not following my own rules of not playing. So by saying good morning, Darren, that was lashing out at you?
Darren, why don't you try doing what Tom's doing?
I should never have gone so far as to say good morning, Darren. When it comes to cars like the Daytona Charger or equally rare cars, you have to be very careful taking them apart as well as putting them together. You have to document the parts, and then when you do get them off, you have to take great care to make sure they don't get damaged. Or not.
I have more fun taking the cars apart, I think, than putting them together. Putting them together is a little more tedious, you know. Taking them apart, it's fun to find production marks that they would have had.
That wing's worth more than your whole car, Royal. Be careful.
No, it's not, Mark.
That wing is worth more than his car.
It is not. It is not, Mark.
They're repopping the factory cast aluminum wings? Well, I did not know that.
Oh, the Daytona's coming apart great. Most of the car was apart anyway. Just taking off a few of the big pieces, things you don't want media blasted and stuff like that. It's gonna be great.
Look at this. Nobody ever puts that stuff back in. And that, you know, part of it, while it has been apart in some ways, some of it's never been touched. These wires haven't been pulled out of there. Nobody ever puts that fabric tape back in. Yanker. There you go. We got the car unpacked. We have all the bolt-on items out of the vehicle. The only things that are left on it right now before we send it down to the blaster is the front and the rear suspension. Right there. Perfect. When you're sending one of these cars off to have it media blasted or dipped, you have to have everything off of it except for the actual body panels themselves. That means front suspension, rear suspension, motor transmission, lines, brakes, hoses, glass, trim, everything has to be off these cars for them to be able to get in and actually clean the original panels themselves. We're gonna raise the car up and that suspension's gonna stay on the ground. Got it? Got it? Today has gone remarkably well. Again, the other two idiots, Dumb and Dumber being gone, Royal and I have just turned and burned on the Daytona. We got all the interior out, the dash, the heater core, the seats. Everything that was bolted in is unbolted. We got the front suspension and K-member out of it, as well as the rear axle and leaf springs. So the car is now down on the ground and ready to head off to the blaster. I should have put the Bumblebee on before we did the base clear.
Like, did they ever stamp any numbers?
It will be known across the globe. So right now we're getting ready to paint the VX9 Bumblebee Stripe on the 70 Challenger sunroof car. I got the original template sitting right next to it, so I know exactly where to put it. While we're working on that, I got Josh out disassembling the 8 3/4 rear end housing out of the 71 Cuda BS23H car. I've left him with some specific instructions. He's getting a little bit better each time about following those instructions. And if he does, I'll end up with a page of notes showing what the markings are that are on the housing that still exists from 1971. This is gonna be a great experience for him to learn how to do that and why it's important. So it's calling out 6 1/4 From the edge of the deck lid at the very center point approximately.
Well, that's longer than you ever had.
It takes a great deal of concentration. It takes a great deal of savvy, which I have. And it takes a great deal of not screwing around, which is impossible for Darren. And then 5.5 inches total at the edge. So then we're gonna have to lay some markers out on it, I think.
Okay. You ever done this before?
I should have put the Bumblebee on before we did the base clear. It should be underneath the clear.
So what are you gonna do now?
I'm just gonna put it on the top of it. When you got a Bumblebee stripe on the back of one of these Dodge Challengers, or many of the cars they did this same thing with, they would paint over the footprint of where the black paint would go, or the white paint, or whatever color the stripe is. Then they would mask the stripe up, the area they want to save, and they would bring color up to that masking point. In this case, I thought it got the longitudinal stripe on it, which is a decal, and I was just gonna put it on later. But now that I realize it's a V9X, that it's the Bumblebee stripe and it's a painted on stripe, I'm just gonna put our stripe on over the top of the paint instead of under the paint like they did at the factory.
Where'd you get them funny glasses at? Underneath this. There you never done this? You want, buddy?
Yep. Okay.
I like it when we get along.
Now touch it in the middle, please. Thank you. Those are right on our numbers right there. So basically, so far we have the deck lid laid out. That's probably the hardest part of the job because that's where you build off of. The 2 quarters, the left and the right quarter, they come off of wherever you've made your line. So we'll take the 2 quarter panels, get the stripes laid out, get it all back masked, get the car covered, and we're ready to shoot color. Okay, now all it's a matter of doing is just, I got all these on, both sides. So all I have to do now is just tighten everything up and make sure that we can spray black paint on it.
Which guy's up to?
What are you doing? You needed to take the rear end apart. So here's the thing, and you're right, because when I said that earlier today, I made the mistake of not checking for understanding. I keep telling myself, I've got to check for understanding, and especially with guys like Josh, because you know what I'm saying? Not all, it's a lot of pops and buzzers up there. I want you to disassemble the 71 CUDA rear end, document all the assembly line markings, okay? You got that?
Right.
And then lay all the parts out, label them, and prepare for the cleaning and reassembly of it.
Okay.
Can you handle that?
I can handle that.
What can you handle?
Disassembly of the rear end.
Huh? Say it again.
I'm going to go and disassemble the rear end.
From what? From a Dodge truck? From an old Dodge military truck?
No, from the 71 CUDA.
Very nice. And are you gonna pay any attention or just rip it apart and throw it on the ground?
Well, no, I'm gonna document everything.
If you don't understand, ask me and I'll explain it to you again. But don't nod and agree and say you're gonna do it, but you have no idea what you're agreeing to.
I don't mean to do this, but I get what you're saying, and I'm not trying to block you out, but it's just doing it on its own.
Okay.
I'm really
Why don't
sorry.
you go do it and we'll all get along fine.
We'll give him a big group hug in a little bit.
Yeah, we will.
So I have all of the stripes laid out. They're pressed down. Everything's masked out around it. So all I really have left is to put the plastic on the car, scuff where I'm gonna paint, and start spraying it.
Dude, I'm just trying to write down things I see on this axle.
I just came over to bug Josh. Mark kicked me out of the paint room, the paint booth, so I thought I'd come over here and see what Josh was doing.
I don't know what that is, or if that's even a factory marking. And then I found this here.
I'm sure he's going to need my help. Yeah. He struggles with a lot of things. What do you think the pink is? What's it say? Do you think? Any idea?
Well, I thought it was, you can tell it's all numbers. 1, 0, and then there was a number here.
I remember growing up, Mom always had these little phrases that she'd repeat. I never understood what they meant until I got older. Phrases like, the blind leading the blind. Makes perfect sense now.
So
wow.
101, 7.
It couldn't be 10 of 70 or anything, right?
It could have been.
I don't know, it's a 71 car. That's all I know is it could be in 70 for a...
Exercise and futility. No idea as a kid. Perfect sense now. 10th
month would have been the production for the 71 cars. I have no idea, but yeah. Of course I'm holding it on Josh. I know exactly what those markings mean on that rear end. I'm not gonna tell Josh everything. If I tell him everything, he'll know more than I do. Lots of markings on the back, huh?
I'm gonna continue to use Darren's help, and anything that Darren does say that might spark my interest or might add to my knowing of the rear axle assembly, I'm gonna write it down. Like, did they ever stamp any numbers?
Housing?
Oh, they did stamp in the housing?
I don't know, I'm asking you, I don't know.
I don't know. Now that I got everything documented on my rear axle assembly of the 71 CUDA, I'm gonna go ahead and start setting up so that I can start disassembling it.
It's a lot harder to duplicate an OEM process than it is a custom process. Custom, by its very definition, means all bets are off, do whatever you want. There's no protocol to follow. OEM, original equipment manufacturing, means you have a book, you have stencils, you have a line to toe, and you will toe that line. And if you don't get it right, you'll do it again until you do.
So I just finished the rear end assembly, and I went to go grab Mark out of the paint booth, and I just kind of wandered around a little bit to look inside the booth just to see how he was doing in there on the car. He opened up the door and like slammed me right in the face.
Oh, good God,
What are you doing?
Yeah, is that how you open the door everywhere?
He knows which way the door goes. Get out of my way and go back to work, okay? Reminds me of another one Mom used to have. Stupid is as stupid does.
I got the rear end disassembled. Can you please come take a look at it? Why are you in my bubble?
Because you're like an overgrown almond roca.
Almond roca.
My main concern is, you understand that a monkey could take it apart. So it's not so much that I'm worried about taking it apart, it's that you documented everything and the assembly line markings that were on the axle. Did you or did you not do that?
Yes, I did.
Can you briefly show me what they are, because I still have work to do. It looks like he got most of the things documented that are important when you take something apart. All in all, I'd probably give him like a B+, which for him is actually really good. That's like an A for a normal person. Okay, Roca, so I'm looking for, you still need to get the sway bar disassembled and all the assembly line markings on it, but basically you're done. Then get the front K-member out of the car over here and get it disassembled. Is that cool?
Yes.
Thanks, Roca.
Mark calls me Roca, which is short for almond roca, because I remind him of a cat turd in a cat box covered up with cat litter. Is there anything in this world that I can do that would make you happy?
It'll be one of the most stunning cars that we've ever done.
He kind of looks like a tire rolling across the lot.
Oh, give me a gun!
You have to be as careful unmasking one of these cars as you are when you mask it. You want to make sure that you're pulling the tape at the right angle, that you're not getting in too big of a hurry, and you slowly, piece by piece, begin to unveil the beautiful finished product. So the Purple Sunroof Challenger is now completed. All of the paintwork is massaged to perfection, the Bumblebee Stripe is installed and unmasked, and it is now ready for final assembly. I really felt like now might be a good time to take a break, go out, do some paintball, and get out some frustrations, kind of let our hair down. We don't get to do that very often, and just let her rip. So I brought everybody down to my friend's place here, Springfield Auto Recyclers on 28th in Springfield, and we're gonna have a full-on, full-blooded paintball war. I'm trying to get this whole thing coordinated. I got everybody except for Darren ready to go. The one guy who whines and cries and complains that we never do anything fun.
I'm gonna have a blast out here today with these guys. You know, win or lose, we're all here to have fun, and of course, Darren didn't show up.
I try to call him up, no answer. Game 1. Try him again, game 2. I text him, I email him, I call him again. Strike 3, I'm out. I'm taking the guys and we're gonna go have some fun.
Which is fine, because I got a better teammate anyways. He's swift, small, and he's silent. And he has a cool name. His name is Hunter. He's going for Mark.
So my grandfather owns this place, and I heard that they're doing a paintball war. I've done a lot of paintball, and it's probably gonna be a lot of fun playing with all the old cars.
I'm on Mark's team. I feel okay with that. I was kind of hoping to shoot him. I'll shoot him. I'll shoot him before the day's over.
Predictions? Yeah. Pain.
My prediction? Fun.
My prediction? Sweat.
All right, ladies, listen up. I cannot emphasize enough, you guys don't take your mask off on the field. Just do it over here because accidents do happen.
All right. Okay.
And if you guys run out of paintballs, don't forget you have a secondary. And yeah, other than that, let's have some fun.
Right to this yellow door thing. Oh, they're over there.
Yeah, I see him over there by that blue pickup.
You see, he's creeping out, he's creeping out. You're running.
Mark, he kind of looks like a tire rolling across the lot, so he'll be easy to spot.
Oh, drop, tuck, and roll. Drop, tuck, and roll.
I just did, and I killed myself.
Hey! So the guys won the first round. Basically, it was one of those things. This is the advantage to being a little kid is I couldn't see him. He was ducked down behind some car parts. And man, out of nowhere, he jumps up and nails me. So he's supposed to shoot me one time, but he shot me 5 times. And that's why I kind of lost my cool for a minute and took off after him. Royal was nowhere to be found. The fact is he should have had my back and he didn't have anything. My guess is he's taking a nap.
All right, Royal. Here's your deal, buddy. Surrender or die.
I surrender. I had stopped to look at a few Chrysler bumpers if there's one I could use. Josh snuck up on me when I wasn't paying attention. Took a header, and to stop from getting my face all scratched up, I put my hands out, gashed them up a little bit, but I'll live. I stopped to look at the bumpers. I thought I saw one for my pickup.
That's why you got shot? I got lit up on the whole right side.
Oh, wow, sorry.
Oh, God. No!
That stings.
You right, it stings. I already took my shot.
I know.
Between the protectors. Don't do it now or it'll turn into a bloodbath.
Let the bloodbath begin.
Oh! Hurt. Oh!
You okay? Oh.
Okay, that's it. I hurt. Damn, that hurts, man.
You crazy, man?
God dang. Stupid.
Go.
I think my basic strategy is just going to be no mercy. If I got the shot, I'm taking it. And that's just the way it's going to be. You know, this is like a hostage situation, very similar to Nakatomi Towers. Say hello to my old friend. I got a beat on him.
Oh.
Hey.
Hey Josh, this is what I look like.
How's that?
Hunter?
Bam, bam, bam.
What's wrong?
Yeah, I'm not interested in your. I don't care if they're here. I don't care about any of that. All I know is I just
What's wrong
got.
with your back?
You must know. Besides being fat, I got bullet holes all over it. Because
What?
Royal shot me, point blank range.
Did you have protection?
You shot me.
I had a mask on. I
Never
didn't have
shoot
anything.
without protection, right?
Where were you? You know what? I'm not interested.
Why? What? I don't know. What are you talking
My back
about, buddy?
hurts. I'm in a bad mood. It's 150 effing degrees outside, and you're out playing around probably some swap meet, selling something I bought a long time ago at a swap meet.
No. You don't fool around, buddy, with that kind of stuff.
It's not funny, is it?
Well, I don't know. I don't have a gun. Give
Yeah,
me
it's
one.
not
We'll see
funny
how
when you're out in
it
the
is.
middle of the heat of the day. And you got...
No, it's probably loaded. Don't fool around now, buddy. I didn't play the game, so I don't get shot.
Why are you hiding?
Because I'm not gonna get shot.
Dude, why the hell are you hiding behind me?
I'm hiding behind this.
Tell you what, I'll give you 30 feet. 30?
No, give me a gun.
Dude.
Give me a gun.
You
That
should have
makes
been
it
there
fair.
playing.
That makes it fair. That's fair.
Don't make me do it.
That's fair.
You bring
You
out
don't
the
shoot
worst
an
in me.
unarmed person, Mark. You son of...
Did I shoot him? Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. If I did shoot him, I'm not saying I did, he would have had it coming. Graveyard Carz is a tough place to work at. I'm the first guy to tell you that. But it's also one of the most rewarding ones. In a case like this, at the end of the day, everything that we do comes out great. Bumblebee Stripe does an absolutely just phenomenal. That's the factory plum crazy DBC 2210.
It's pretty. It's very pretty.
It's absolutely gorgeous. When you walk from the front office out to the shop and you see this beautiful sunroof Challenger sitting there in its factory correct FC7 plum crazy purple with the right stripe, sunroof car that started out when it came to you with nothing on it. It was nothing but 2 quarters and a roof. And now all of a sudden it's a finalized, finished, painted product that's ready to be put together. You know you're good at what you do. Is there anything short of perfection right there before we start assembling that car? That's all I want to know.
I think it's absolutely flawless.
I think it looks great.
great.
I think it looks
Beautiful.
great.
I think that this Challenger is going to be one of the most stunning cars that we've ever done. There's muscle versions, there's stripped down race versions, but in this case, it's a very elegant version. I have the utmost faith that it will be known across the globe as the most beautiful sunroof Challenger on the planet. I've never paintballed before. I didn't have that luxury growing up. We didn't even have paintballs. We had BB guns, so we shoot each other with those.
Have you guys been shot with paintballs before?
Nope.
I've been shot with real guns before.
Awesome.
Paintballs, I think, is a little bit effeminate, but it's fine if that's what the kids today are doing.
Let the bloodbath begin. Hey!
So all in all, a phenomenal week.
It was a great week at
Sunroof
GYC.
car now is setting, waiting to have its final assembly on it. Shop crane is out there waiting to start lowering cars down like the factory did over it. Had you not fought with Tim, we probably would have been done in half the time, and I wouldn't have had to beg him at the end to let us keep the piece of equipment. Fought with him from the minute he got there to the minute he left, but that's Darren. Welcome to the game.
I thought he did a nice job once I got him directed out with the instructions and everything. I think it was the first one he actually tried putting together.
Yeah, he's probably never put another one of his own
I didn't
pieces
think
of
so.
equipment together. Got the Daytona Charger disassembled and ready to go off to the blaster. That was nice. That's gonna make a beautiful car when it's done.
Beautiful.
What's the Rain Man thing?
That's all I think is saying.
You just repeat back the same thing the same
I'm
guy said?
sorry. It's gonna be a great looking car.
Got to get our aggressions out on the old paintball field. That was
Sorry,
fun.
I missed that.
Yeah, why'd you miss that, Darren? Tell everybody.
We were camping with the family.
Yeah, camping with the family. Yeah, definitely.
Good time with the
You knew
family.
exactly when we were supposed to do it, and you played the game. So you know what? I don't care.
I heard Royal really peppered you.
Royal is a child.
I thought that was childish, actually.
It was childish, and in reality, well, he's got one coming.
He does.
The purple sunroof Challenger.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous car. Got all the paint laid out on it, like a sheet of glass.
The FC7.
Brought to perfection, and it is stunning.
Looks good. The VX9 Bumblebee Stripe on the rear.
DBC 2210.
Yeah, definitely DBC 2210.
Whatever.